Hey everyone, welcome to this episode of The Thread. This is your boy DeLano. It's like wee hours in the morning, but I woke up with something on my mind. And it's all about a young lady in relationships. I was most recently dating a young lady, a woman that I have so much interest in. And it sort of dissolved. But the episode today is about how do you let go when you're still filled with hope. This is your boy DeLano. Please stay tuned for this episode of The Thread. I think you're really going to enjoy it. It's on a personal level for me in regards to relationship. How do you let go when you're still filled with hope? This is your boy DeLano. Stay tuned for this episode of TheThread.ca.
Have you ever felt? Are you watching?
The Thread. Yeah. Are you listening? The Thread. Yeah. Yeah.
You know everybody's talking about.
Hey everyone, welcome to this episode of The Thread. It's probably like 3 o'clock in the morning and just can't sleep. It's one of those nights, and I've been thinking a lot about this young lady that I was dating. I was, very interested in, and she periodically pops up in my thoughts. So I'm not afraid to have conversations and record things about anything that pops in my head. I can talk freely. So I'm going to talk about something in my personal life, and hopefully by me doing so, it can help someone that's watching this find answers to common questions, but questions most people are too shy and or afraid to even ask or talk about. And basically, it's about when do you let go? When do you let go of something that you still have hope in? A lot of times, we as people, we get involved with someone that we find very interesting. And in the beginning, there's complications with the relationship. Not that the people don't get along, but there's complications that both persons have to work out and or elevate to be more valuable, in a sense, to the other person, in a way that we can hold them up high and elevate them as well as they would elevate the other person. So we have to learn how to accent one another, for lack of better. But let's say the relationship dissolves because of arguments or misunderstandings, but you really care about the person, but you feel that there's always friction within the relationship, and you both sit and you talk and you realize that even though it hurts, it's probably the best thing to do is to part. But there's something inside of you that doesn't want to let go because you still believe and hope that it will work itself out. And we always find ourselves having this reserve inside of us for that person, meaning we don't want to go out there into the world and find someone else. We really don't, because we have that reserve in the back of us, in the subconscious. We have that reserve for that person because we believe not only can we work on ourselves to fix whatever it is that we feel is wrong with us, but that person is going to do the same thing in return for them to make that relationship work. Because a lot of times in relationships, there's a lot of finger pointing, but we forget that there's how many fingers pointing back at us. That's why they say never point fingers, because more are pointing back at you than are pointing towards that other person's. So we want to believe in hope. But the question of it is when do we let go when only one of you are hoping for the better? And I hope that makes sense. And, you know, I'm no saint, I'm far from it. But coming from where I am, I'm 46 years old. And yeah, I know I don't look it, I know. So I just had to throw that in there because I'm getting very serious right now. 46 years old, I thank God that I'm not the man that I was as I was growing up as a young man. I had a lot of teachers, if you will, that taught me a lot of player lingo, mannerisms, traits. I had a lot of that in me, and I knew how to use it very well. And I thank God I really surrendered to Christ. I surrendered and give my all to him. So I had a lot of time on my own with my children, on my own, to even correct myself, to make myself better. That's worthy of a good woman. And sometimes in the back of my mind, I still feel that, the bad boy gets the prize. And because now that I know that the quality of a man, I've always been a good person, but I never treated the women or the woman that was in my life right. I will openly admit that. And because I was always trying to fulfill or fill a need, I always needed something. And it feels like karma is coming back at us, or back at me, because I'm still single. Sometimes by choice, but in this situation, it isn't by choice. It's complicated, but I know that there's something within me for that person. And when things are right, when we hang out, we have an amazing time. I mean, you can't have more fun. And let's say money doesn't even have to be the issue. It could just be genuine fun. We just get along. But unfortunately, those times they are outnumbered by the times of frustration. Not fights, but frustration because of lack of communication, or the better end of a good communication situation. It's just, when do you let go? When do you let go? Or do you just keep going on, believing in hope that the person that you are drawn to, for whatever reason, and for me, it's not a physical thing. It's not a sex thing. To me, I'm way above that. It's more of a communication, divulging this kind of information. And it was my son just got up. You can go in the washroom, bud. It is more of a level of communication that you have with someone that you're able to open up and confide in. So how do you let go when you have so much hope still in you that everything's going to work out right? Because sometimes I feel that the bad boy would have more rewards than the good guy that still believes in hope. Help me figure this out. Post your comments below. I know it's wee hours in the morning, and just help me figure this out. Post your comments below, and I appreciate your time you spent watching this episode of thethread.ca. This is your boy DeLano, and you know my motto is, if you ain't laughing, you ain't living. But together, we can help each and every one of us live. Peace.